This is Michael, and this is the microphone. First and foremost, I want to tell you I appreciate you taking time out your day to listen to what I have to say. My Instagram is Manor Mike 503. That's MANORMIKE 503. The Facebook is Michael Jacory. That's Michael JAKHOURY. Once again, appreciate you for taking time out your day to listen to what I have to say. I hope you enjoy the content, but most importantly, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. With the most important thing being subscribe, and I definitely want your feedback. With that being said, have a great day, be blessed, and enjoy the show. Great Saturday, great Saturday. Hope everyone is enjoying themselves. So yesterday, Friday, of course, I get these alerts on my phone and these different pages that I follow speaking on the incident that happened between Shaquille O'Neal and Shannon Sharp. So if you don't know how things transpired or how they went down, or you're not familiar with the timeline of how everything occurred, it all started when on the Inside the NBA segment, they interviewed Nikola Jokic, and Shaq had some. He was opposed to Jokic winning his third MVP, and Shaq actually had a great argument. He was like, Shea Gilchrist Alexander may have had a better season than you. I believe Shea had 50 games where he scored. He scored 30 points, and most importantly, his team was the number one seed in the Western Conference. So one thing I do respect about what Shaq did, Shaq said it to his face. Shaq didn't tweet it. Shaq didn't subliminally make posts. Speaking about the matter, he said this directly to Nikola Jokic. Shannon Sharp got wind of this, and Shannon Sharp proceeded to say that Shaq only said this because he's jealous of Jokic, and that Shaq, if he could go back in time, he would take better care of his body and take the game more seriously. And then Shaq went, after Shaq caught wind of that, he made a long post about Shannon Sharp saying, I'm paraphrasing it, of course, but one of the things that really stuck out to me were two things. He said that Shannon Sharp was doing this for clicks, and he says that he told Shannon Sharp he knows what Shannon had to do to get where he's at, insinuating something. I'm going to touch back on that. And then Shannon was also told that if you compare position by position, Shaq is one of the greatest centers of all time, and Shaq made it seem like Shannon Sharp was not one of the greatest tight ends of all time. So it's a lot of layers to this conversation. First and foremost, like I said, I respect Shaq for telling Jokic that to his face on the broadcast. But Shaq also has to realize that one of the reasons why Shannon Sharp may have said that Shaq was lazy and didn't take his career seriously is because Shaq, you yourself has said this on numerous occasions. So Shannon is really just repeating what you said. One of the biggest conflicts, or one of the biggest moments of the Undisputed show with Shannon and Skip, is when Skip said that Shannon was jealous of Tom Brady. Shannon pretty much, like, he didn't lose his mind. He kept his cool, but you could see he was visibly frustrated by those comments, and rightfully so. I don't think Shannon is jealous of Tom Brady. I just think Shannon is one of those athletes who pays attention to sports. Some people are just athletes because they're big, tall, strong, and fast, and some people are athletes because this is their way of life. This is what they eat, sleep, and breathe. So he was just giving his analysis, and then, Skip is a little bit biased towards Tom Brady, just like he's a little bit biased towards the Cowboys. Shaq has really had a rough week. A lot of people might not know this, but his ex-wife came out with a book. No, I have not read the book, but I have seen excerpts from the book where she's saying things like she's not sure if she ever really loved Shaq. Now, regarding that issue, Shaq took the high road, and Shaq basically said he understood why she felt like that. Maybe, Shaq wasn't appreciating his woman's worth. Maybe she knew that. Maybe, Shaq was at a time in his life where he was just living his life and he was married, but he wasn't really truly putting in the work to make his wife happy. So he said that he understood, but the way that he came out against Shannon Sharp, the way that he, went at him, to me, he was directing his frustration for the situation or the book that his wife wrote towards Shannon Sharp. Now, Shannon was a little bit wrong for some of the things that he said about Shaq being jealous. Jealous is a very strong word, and Shannon knows this because he was accused of being jealous of an athlete. Just really tired of the beef. I'm really tired of people getting into it. We just now getting over the Kendrick Lamar and the Drake situation, and now it seems like the trending thing is the beef. We even got Game putting out songs with Rick Ross. Like, everybody wants to get into it with each other. And then for Shaq to say that Shannon was doing it for clicks, I don't think Shannon really needs clicks. Shannon has one of the best podcast shows out right now. So, he's just giving his opinion, but a lot of people have been coming for Shannon Sharp, and it's primarily due to the success that he's had and how fast he's gotten that success, which takes me back to what Shaq said about, I know what you did to get where you're at. People often have this, this thought process or this inclination that you can't be successful unless you sell yourself, sell your soul. So for Shaq to make those comments, it was very interesting. If you can tell Jokic to his face that you don't think he should be MVP, I would have liked to hear you elaborate more about why you feel like Shannon is so successful. People never really talk about centers as being the greatest of all time just because people call you the greatest of all time based off what they can relate to. There are very few people in this world that are 7 feet tall that can play center. Most people are between, 5'10", 6'4", 6'5", somewhere in that range. So it's more relatable to see Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, be at the top of a discussion when it comes to the greatest basketball players of all times. Now, I saw Shaq play. Like I said, I'm a Houston Rockets fan. I even witnessed Shaq get swept in the NBA Finals. As much as I love Hakeem Olajuwon, prime Shaq, he was better than Hakeem. I'm not going to say he would dominate Hakeem, but he was better than Hakeem. Now, Hakeem was the better free throw shooter. Hakeem had the better post moves. But Shaq was a force to be reckoned with. And Shaq has openly admitted on several occasions that he didn't take the game seriously. He wished that he could go back in time and, work out more, eat better, focus more on the game itself. So I just think it's uncalled for. And I hate to see two great athletes that I watched growing up getting into it. First of all, we're men, we're grown men, and then, we're black. So there's always been this stigma that blacks can't get along. Just knock it off. I don't think Shannon meant it that way, Shaq. I just think, like I said, Shaq has other things going on in his life right now that may be pissing him off. And the only way for him to get that energy out was to go at Shannon Sharp the way that he did. So hopefully these two men can resolve the issue. Hopefully they can come together, do a show together, talk, work it out, because I don't want to continue to see the athletes that I grew up admiring, not idolizing, but admiring, getting into senseless beef that really doesn't mean anything.